So I've got the Lamborghini up on jack stands and my race ramp, car stands, whatever you want to call them. And what I'm doing is I'm converting it from all-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive. The reason is because, you know, I love the all-wheel drive for handling and stuff like that. It's great for grip. But honestly, I'm not really that impressed with how the all-wheel drive system makes the car handle at slow speeds, you know, in parking lots, around rotaries, stop-and-go traffic. Downshifting is really clunky. And overall, you know, I'm just not that impressed with, you know, the day-to-day driving aspect of this car being all-wheel drive. On the racetrack, I'm sure it's great, but obviously I'm not driving this car on the track that much. I drive it a lot, you know, on public roads. So I did some reading in the Lamborghini Talk forums, and people have said that if you convert these to rear-wheel drive, they get a lot more, you know, everything's a lot more smooth. So I bought the parts to do the rear-wheel drive. This right here, and this is just a stub. This basically replaces the end of the front axle in the hub of the car. So you can see right here, underneath the car, I've actually removed, now you probably can't see, but I've actually removed the front differential out of the car. Let me get under here so you can see. So right there, that hole right there, you can still see the axle on that side. I haven't taken that out yet. But right here used to be the front differential, and the drive shaft used to run along the length of the car, hook into the transmission back there by the engine. So far I've removed the front differential, removed the drive shaft, and removed this right front axle right here. And when you remove the front axle, you're stuck with a empty hole in this hub right here. So basically, you buy these little stubs right here, and you know, you bolt them into the hub, and you're good to go. So now my car will be obviously rear-wheel drive, which I can't wait to try out tomorrow. I'm told that, you know, it just improves the overall driving experience of this car. I'm hoping that, you know, slow speeds and parking lots and things like that, I think it's a lot more smooth. And plus, honestly, I want to be able to whip the back end around and stuff like that. You know, I'm used to driving the Cobra, where I can bring it sideways when I want to. With all-wheel drive, I couldn't with this, but hopefully now I will be able to. While we're down here, I want to show you what the underside of a Lamborghini looks like. It's a little dirty because, you know, obviously it's fake. You know, this is the part that's closest to the road. But basically, one of these cars are completely flat underneath. You know, actually, I have to put the panel back in there. But you know, on like other cars, everything's open. You can see like the drive shaft, the hoses, everything like that. On one of these, everything is completely flat, covered with panels. You know, like I said, when I'm done, I gotta put the panels on here. It'll cover all that up. And I think that's for aerodynamics, obviously. And another thing about this car that is different from a lot of, or most other cars on the road, like, again, my Cobra, for example, everything under here is aluminum. The entire chassis, or frame, whatever you want to call it, unibody, is entirely built out of aluminum. No steel. These control arms here, they're not steel, they're aluminum. I'm not sure if this here, I think that is aluminum actually, but usually on other cars it's all steel. I think there's only a few little things that are steel, you know, like I don't know, sway bar I think is steel up there. But anyways, that's what the underside of a Lamborghini looks like, completely flat. I thought that was kind of cool, so I thought I'd show you. Alright, so, well, first of all, these are those panels that I was telling you about. When we're all done here, we're going to put these panels back on. So the underside of the car is completely flat again, no holes or anything like that. Here is the front differential. This is where the drive shaft used to connect, so it would run from the transmission back there to where the motor is towards the rear of the car, And the drive shaft, which is right there, used to connect right here. And then obviously that would, this unit here would, you know, the axle would, or the drive shaft would rotate, you know, spin all the gears in the front differential here, and then obviously spin these, which were connected to the front axles, which would spin the front wheels. So here's the front axle that I took out. So that used to be in there. So just wanted to do a little video overview of what I'm doing. Next I'm going to remove the driver's side front axle and hopefully be done with this tonight so I can drive the car this weekend, and I'll give you a little video review of how the car goes with the rear-wheel drive conversion, you know, versus all-wheel drive.